Christmas in Qatar is great. It's about 3 o'clock on Sunday. I'm getting geared up now and feeling really nervous all the way through the tournament. I've been telling myself that getting to the semis or, even possibly the final would be an incredible achievement. And, I probably wouldn't mind losing to a much more successful footballing nation in a final. It would be good enough for me. But nah, I'm now just much more aware of how once in a lifetime this is and how it's a chance that might not come again to experience something that I've wanted since I was 12 and only a very select few countries have ever experienced. And we're clearly been painted as the baddies of this tournament by a lot of other fans. Like, unless you're the kind of person that gets very angry about Eurovision, then you should have seen this coming. It's football, Other countries, especially home nations countries, have no obligation to support us. I can understand why some people would be annoyed with that, because to a lot of us, the narrative of our journey to this tournament has been very much a repudiation of that kind of England. Our footballers and our manager has stood up against that and forced all these idiots into, grovelling about turns. But also, if Italy lose, are they going to smash up a Greg's? Probably not. And the kind of fans that would do that, and don't get me wrong, they have those fans, but they're not here. But do we have fans that will misappropriate their anger towards a Bella Italia? Yeah. But at the same token, England fans, you're allowed to enjoy this. And you're allowed to be a bit arrogant. We've got to a final. It's football. This isn't like cricket. Is 3 Lions an arrogant song? No. Has it been sung arrogantly by arrogant people? Obviously. If we've somehow managed to create a completely inoffensive, self-deprecating football song that also really winds up our opponents, that's hilarious. Well done. That's an achievement. We should be proud of that. But whatever happens, it's been a good ride. Fuck that, it's coming home. Absolutely heartbroken. It doesn't hurt to lose the final of a tournament to a very successful, prominent football nation like Italy, who probably were the best team at this tournament and also probably deserved to win that game on balance. So I'm not that annoyed, and I know in a few weeks, certainly in years to come, I'll look back on it as a really positive experience. The best England tournament of my lifetime by far, and I've enjoyed it, but I'm so gutted. I think the worst thing is that it seems so self-inflicted. Not the penalties, fuck that. Everyone that took a penalty is a hero, who cares? But we had them in the first half. We were the better team, and then the momentum changed in the second half. Kind of towards the end of the first half, but in the second half, and we did nothing. They won that game because Mancini was the better manager. You know, he made a lot of substitutions. He was constantly reacting to the flow of the game, changing things up. He even lost his best player, which was the point when I felt that the momentum should have entirely shifted to us. But Gareth seemed like he'd decided which subs to make and what minute to bring them on in about 3 days earlier. It's impossible to criticise when you've just got through to a final for the first time in 50 years, but against Denmark, we played out the last 10 minutes of that game as if we were trying not to score out of politeness to them because their players were knackered. And I think they were even down to 10 men for the last 5 minutes and they were like dead on their feet. And every time we had a chance to, run at them and score, we were just kind of run into a corner and, trying not to score. But they weren't doing that. As fantastic and as wonderful a person as Gareth Southgate is and as good as he's been for this group of players, there is a worry that we've wasted one of the best attacking generations of footballers we have on a very overly defensive manager. Yeah. I made the mistake at the Denmark game of drinking right up to kick-off, and then I just needed a piss about half an hour into the first half. So I decided to, I'd drink a fair amount from about 5 and then stop an hour before, so I had ample time to get it all out and not need a piss through the game. But obviously what that meant is that once we got into extra time, I started to get hungover. So I spent extra time at penalties hungover. That didn't help, really. I don't think I had the energy for an all-night street party anyway. On the plus side, I can't hear any sirens. And I live in South London, and that's unusual for a regular non-Euro final Sunday, so maybe everyone's just gone to bed. It's the hope that kills you, isn't it? Thanks, babe.